Guys, if you want a summer banger that's not gonna break the bank, then this is it right here. So let's review Khadlaj Island. Yo, what's good guys? Hunter here and welcome back to the channel where I upload weekly fragrance content, so you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss any future videos like this, and be sure to check me out over on my Instagram page for some more personal content and some behind the scenes stuff as well. But today in my hands is one of the most hyped up fragrances of 2025, especially over on TikTok, which, as I always say, doesn't usually mean that much, but man, we might have something special in our hands today, guys. And of course it is Khadlaj Island, which you've probably seen, you've probably heard about, because like I said, this fragrance right here is absolutely making the rounds within the fragrance community. And of course, in this review, we'll talk about the hype's worth it, if this is a good fragrance, etc. So let's go with some information now. Khadlaj Island was launched in 2024, so it is pretty brand new. And if you don't know about the house of Khadlaj, I believe they make more so inspired by fragrances. Of course, this one is going to be inspired by Le Beau Le Parfum by Jean-Paul Gaultier. I also do own Blue Spice from them as well, which is very similar to Imagination. So let's go with some information now. Khadlaj Island was launched in 2024, so it is pretty new. For the retail price, only size this one comes in, which is going to be the 100 ml, is going to run you roughly around that $30 mark. Maybe 25, maybe 35, but it's going to be around there. And at that price, guys, that's fantastic, because this fragrance right here, spoiler alert, is something good. The concentration with Khadlaj Island is actually going to be in extrait de parfum, so that you're getting the highest of perfume oils used in a fragrance, which is surprising, especially at this price. And for a freshie like it, they for real went all out with Khadlaj Island, guys. Because even the other fragrance from Khadlaj that I have is actually an eau de parfum. So they're like, man, you know what? We're just gonna make the best of the best summer fragrance at the price. For the perfumer, that is actually unknown, which seems like it's most of the time the case with these Middle Eastern brands. They never really list who the nose was behind it. So at this time, nobody really knows, besides probably Khadlaj. Now, with all the information out of the way, let's look at the packaging and presentation you get with this fragrance now. So take a look at the box, which I actually love the way this box looks. It's so aesthetically pleasing. Of course, on the top, you have extrait de parfum, Island Khadlaj. Had this kind of sea on the beach kind of vibe going on, which fits this fragrance perfectly. Also on that side, on the back, you actually have your note breakdown, which is a nice touch. Nothing really on that side. On top, Khadlaj, and then on the bottom is where you're going to find your barcode and batch code to authenticate your product and see when it was produced. It looks like mine was produced in March of 2025. Alright, take a look at the bottle now, which I also love the way this bottle looks. You have a gradient from black to this green on the bottom with the gold plaque on the front with Khadlaj Island. On the bottom, you will have your sticker, extrait de parfum right there. Nothing really on the back besides this nice texture. On top, you have the Khadlaj with their logo. This cap is, by the way, very heavy metal. Nothing inside of the cap, nothing on top of the atomizer, and it does hold on by friction very securely. All in all, beautiful presentation. In the top, you have pineapple, iris, ginger, and cypress. In the mid, you have coconut and woodsy notes. And in the base, you have tonka bean, sandalwood, amber, and ambergris. This will be classified as a sweet tropical. So let's spray this and test out these atomizers. Dang, guys, that is satisfying with the sprayer on here. It is pressurized, so you can't spray a lot or a little bit, which is fantastic. So let's go ahead and remind myself of the hyped up Khadlaj Island now. Man, I cannot believe the price of this fragrance, because the opening is amazing. Right away, you are going to get this very tropical, fresh, and sweet pineapple. Immediately, a very, very dominant pineapple right away. It is more so on that sweet side of pineapple, and just the quality of the pineapple in the opening is so good. I honestly can't believe this is a $30 fragrance, to be honest with you guys. It's actually kind of mind-blowing. And of course, when you think of pineapple fragrance, you think of aventus. This is nothing similar to aventus at all. Like I said, it is inspired by Le Beau Le Parfum, which I don't have much experience with, to be honest with you. However, this fragrance as a standalone fragrance is excellent, guys, especially if you love tropical, sweet fragrances and pineapple, forget about it. Now, alongside that pineapple, you are also going to get this bright, uplifting ginger note that is a little bit spicy, mixed together with, of course, this slightly waxy iris note that does make it smell even more expensive. Just an awesome opening with Khadlaj Island. It actually kind of smells like you're drinking a pina colada at the beach. It's very sunny outside, hot out. That's the exact vibe this gives off in the opening, guys. So if you want to smell like a pina colada, you have to get this. It's funny too, because when I was wearing it the last time, my girl actually said, whoa, you smell like a pina colada. And I was like, no way you just said that, because it literally does. Because as we start getting into the mid of Khadlaj Island is where you're gonna get that tropical coconut, guys. It's actually a kind of a milky, lactonic coconut. Very, very refreshing. Kind of like you're drinking a literal coconut in your hands, guys. It's not the kind of coconut that goes into that kind of suntan lotion vibe, which I'm not a fan of at all. So thankfully, it doesn't go in that direction. Just a very refreshing, tropical, slightly milky coconut in the mid of Khadlaj Island. And you still are getting the pineapple in the opening. So it's pineapple and coconut, which of course is why this literally smells like a pina colada, like I said. And then once you get into the base of Khadlaj Island, what you're pretty much just going to be left with is a spicy, slightly powdery tonka bean note. Yeah, very heavy tonka beans in the base of this fragrance, mixed together with this kind of woody sandalwood that doesn't go into the pickly direction. And you also have a little bit of that ambergris in the base of this as well. And to be honest with you, for some reason, especially on skin, which I haven't seen anybody really talk about, it kind of smells like Versace Eros is dry down. But definitely has similarities with Eros in the base of this fragrance, which, like I said, I've never seen anybody talk about. I think I'm the first person that has mentioned that. So if you're familiar with Eros, you're going to be kind of reminded of it in the base of this one. So I don't know, it could be kind of a mix of Le Beau Le Parfum and Eros. However, I'm not that familiar with Le Beau Le Parfum to kind of judge it. Who knows, maybe that kind of dries down the same way Eros does, but in my opinion, guys, it has a base of Eros, which to me is a great thing. Eros is fantastic. So just run it down for you one more time. In the opening of this, you're going to get this very tropical, sweet pineapple mixed together with this uplifting ginger and a little bit of this sophisticated waxy iris note that starts to dry it down to this tropical milky coconut that gives it that pina colada, with a base of this powdery spicy tonka bean, woody sandalwood, and a little bit of this kind of salty ambergris. And in my opinion, is probably a must-have in the collection for the summertime and for the price. So I will give it the approval that the TikTok hype this fragrance got is approved. So for the best seasons to rock Khadlaj Island when you guys get a bottle of this banger is primarily going to be the spring and the summertime, because that's exactly the best vibe to wear it in, because it is tropical, it is fresh, it is a little bit sweet. But yeah, on a nice, hot, sunny day wherever you live, this is gonna shine beautiful. I wouldn't so much wear this in like the fall and winter, even though you could pull it off in the fall, it just doesn't suit those seasons the best. Now for occasion with this one, I'm primarily gonna wear this one as a casual fragrance, just whenever maybe I'm going on vacation, I'm taking this in my luggage bag guaranteed. When I'm just kind of laying out by the pool, laying out by the beach, drinking some pina coladas, etc. Maybe running errands during the summertime, it gives me that kind of casual vibe for sure. Possibly maybe like a day date, also maybe like a coffee date, a lunch date. You can wear it, especially in the summer, obviously. Just doesn't really give off formal, classy, sophisticated vibes, which doesn't mean you can't dress it up. You absolutely can. I just think it more so targeted towards a casual attire, casual situation. So for gender, I believe this might possibly be targeted towards men. However, to me, the scent profile does come across very unisex. I could picture a woman wearing it if she absolutely wanted to. However, even though it could be pulled off as unisex, it is at the end of the day unisex leaning masculine, because it absolutely has some masculine qualities within the DNA. But doesn't mean that I couldn't, like I said, picture a woman wearing this if she really wanted like a good pineapple, coconut, tropical fragrance. Even though most coconut fragrances that lean feminine are usually in that kind of suntan lotion vibe, which this one does not smell like at all. So at the end of the day, unisex leaning masculine, just because it's not a straight up masculine fragrance. So for age groups now, honestly, I picture this as a youthful fragrance. Of course, when you think about like all the TikTok hype, you think of maybe younger guys rocking this one, picking it up, enjoying it, etc. It just kind of smells like a more youthful fragrance. Somebody like in their late teens, early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, possibly early 30s, I think would probably pull this one off the absolute best. Doesn't mean though, if you're over 30, 40s and up and you like the scent profile, doesn't mean you can't wear it. I'm just kind of telling you guys what I picture wearing this one, who I picture wearing this one, and it's absolutely a more younger crowd, hands down. Just because it is a little bit playful, it is casual, and just doesn't really smell like a grown man fragrance, if you know what I mean. There's nothing old school about this, nothing dated about this, or anything like that. So wrapping the review off, talking on the performance you guys should expect from Khadlaj Island. So from my testing, guys, on skin, I got upwards to that 8-hour mark, which I think is great for the scent profile. The way this fragrance smells, I would actually expect less. However, At the end of the day, it is an extrait to parfum, so I was hoping for a little bit better longevity, but I mean, at the end of the day, 8 hours for a tropical fragrance like this one is very, very respectable. If you don't know, more tropical, fresh style fragrances don't usually perform the best at all, so 8 hours is good, even though I was honestly hoping for a little bit longer being an extrait. And for the projection with Khadlaj Island, the projection was about moderate. It wasn't like a soft, intimate projector, but it also wasn't a loud, room-filling projector either, just kind of right down the middle. It definitely does project pretty heavy the first like 2 hours for sure, like everybody around you will smell it. After that mark, it starts to come a little bit closer to the skin where people will still detect you, especially if you're walking around and kind of like in your little scent bubble around you, they'll smell you, no doubt. Just don't go into this one expecting it to be like a beast mode or room-filling fragrance, because you will be let down a little bit. But I think it's still very, very good for what it is. So very solid 8 hours of longevity on skin. If you do spray your clothes, you will probably get maybe an hour or two longer. And about moderate projection with loud projection for the first 1 or 2 hours with Khadlaj Island, which I think is fantastic, especially for the price and especially for a tropical summer banger. So that's going to do it for my review of the very hyped Khadlaj Island, guys. Let me know down below if you've tried this one, if you're thinking about picking it up now after watching this review, which honestly, between me and you, I think is definitely worthy of picking up, and it's not going to break the bank, especially at the time now we're going into summer. Yeah, for sure. But besides that, leave a like on the video, subscribe below if you haven't already, because why haven't you? And of course, I'll see all of you back in my next upload. Take care, everybody.